Oh, so I've got goodies. This is a parcel from Den at Resin Supplies Den. He put a post out, I think it was about 2 weeks ago or so, asking for people to test his moulds. For anybody that doesn't know, Resin Supplies Den is a Facebook group based in the United Kingdom that supply resin supplies. Supply resin supplies? Wow, okay. Anyway, Dennis is the person that makes moulds. He makes custom moulds. He makes all sorts. So he was looking for people to test some moulds. Now, when I offered to do this, I had no idea what the mould would be. And I have seen a picture for inspiration. And I will pop that up on the screen. I won't. Kirk will pop it up on the screen because, he's good like that. And then that's what I had. So it arrived today. Very exciting. Let's have a look. So, it's nicely packaged. Let's see. So I was looking at the mould the picture of the mould, and I was looking at the sort of the inspiration picture, and for the life of me, I was like, I don't quite see how I'm going to get. Okay, and I thought, well, I'll just wait till it comes and then I'll do it. I happened to show Kirk a photograph of it earlier, and he went, "Oh yeah, it's obvious you do this, 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 and this." And I was like, really? Wow, that is. So the mould itself, really, really good quality. There's a little bit of blue on there. I'm just going to get that off because it looks like that could be in the silicone, but that's okay. It's a really nice shiny mould, very shiny. It's very, very pretty. So what I think we do is, you can't really see it there, can you? So we fill the bottom, fill around here, and then this, you make the sort of little people and you hang the balloons. So I think what I'm going to do, now I've seen the mould, I'm going to decide on some colours and yeah, we'll get making. So I'll be back in a minute. So I'm mixing up some resin on my mixer, and I decided for the first one that I was going to make that I was going to go with just a straight black, but I thought I'd mix in some of this red diamond mica into the black just to give it a little bit of sparkle, because I do like a bit of sparkle. This mica I got from Resin Supplies Den.
Shocker.
I got it from Charlotte, who no longer sells things, but it's all done through Amanda now, so you can still get it. I did check. And what are you laughing at?
Are we going to get an order now of glitter?
No, because that's not glitter. That's special sparkle.
Okay.
So, but you can buy it through Amanda, which is wonderful news because I really like my little sparkles. And you don't need a lot. You need the tiniest of amounts.
We have had those for quite some time.
We have, but you only need. I mean, you look. I'm only going to put a tiny amount in.
That's not a tiny amount. That's loads.
But I did actually put quite a lot in this one. But normally I put about half that amount in. But I wanted it to be very sparkly. So.
Okay.
And as the whole thing is sort of going to be a black, that's why. Now, if you mix your resin on a mixer, it's important that when it's finished, you give it a stir around the sides. So I added in my colour and my super sparkle and mixed it all together. So,
and that's because the there might be some unmixed resin on the edges,
Absolutely,
on the sides, or the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. And you want to make sure it all mixes in lovely. So I poured it into the bottom of the mould and it went in lovely.
Yep.
And then I thought, oh gosh, I've got to do this outside.
It needs a steady hand.
It needed a very steady hand.
I think you did really well, to be fair.
Considering my hands are not the most steadiest.
But you can see the red diamond there in the cup.
It really is quite, it's a really, I love the stuff. I think it's a really nice effect. But yes, it was just a case of pouring it into the mould. And I did it nice and slow because I didn't want any bubbles. I mean, who does want bubbles?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're doing a sea life thing,
you still don't want bubbles.
Well,
no, you don't. So I poured it on the edge and then I let it sort of have its little settle down.
Do its thing.
Yeah, because I was a bit worried I might end up over pouring. So then I thought I'll fill the balloons up. Now I do fill all of the balloons, but I don't use them all. I don't know why I filled that little bit.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that, going, that's not part of the actual mold.
I know. I was in the zone.
It did make me chuckle though when you were demolding it.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, what's this?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what was going on in my head. It's not part. I mean, it is part of the mold, but it's just the logo. And I thought, what am I doing? And you can see I've overpoured one of the balloons.
Now those balloons are two different thicknesses.
They are, yeah. Some are quite thin, and some are a bit thicker.
Yeah.
But what I would say with all of them is you can do them as thick or as narrow as you like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, you know, and then I poured the little boy and then I poured the little girl.
Yep.
So it's a beautiful mold, but it's really nice and easy to pour. Because it was the first time I've ever poured it, I was quite cautious with how fast I filled it up because you just don't know sometimes how much it needs. And then I just popped a little cover on it, let it cure up.
Yeah.
The excess that I had, I popped into that little turtle on the left.
Shocker.
As anyone who knows that turtles are my go-to overflow.
Yeah.
And then this is the following day, and it was time for the demould. Now it is still a teeny tiny little bit bendy, I suppose. I could have left it a little bit more, but I was actually quite impatient to.
That's unlike you.
To get it done, but look at the sparkle in there.
Yeah,
I was really, really pleased with it. And then I took out the surround, and it demolds beautifully. It is a really good mold. I was really, really impressed. The resin just came away lovely. You know, like sometimes it's really difficult to get your casts out.
It's a struggle to get. Yeah.
No, I won't say it fell out, but it came out beautifully. And anyone who's ever used resin molds knows what I mean when I say that.
Yeah.
I hope. So yeah, I was quite impressed. And then that sort of sits in there like that. And then I took out all of the balloons, and that little light, there's a little indent.
It's supposed to be like a highlight.
And I was umming and ahhing about whether or not I was going to put some gold or some silver in there. And I hadn't decided at this point. But yeah, I took this out and I was like, why have I done that? I just had a moment.
Yes, I know.
But
I did chuckle for a couple of minutes at that bit.
I was like,
I was going to cut it out, but I thought...
No, you thought you'd leave it in so you could mock me.
Yes. That's pretty much.
Yeah, well...
That's what I do.
What's life without mocking?
If I can't mock you in a video...
Is it even ours?
Yeah.
Is it even our video?
Yes.
People would be like, what have you done with Kirk?
Yeah.
And because I live in Gloucester, that's not a question I want to get into.
No.
So it was just taking out the little girl and taking out the little boy. Now, I did spend quite some time
Uh-huh.
deciding whether or not to use the boy and the girl, or the girl and the girl by
and
herself.
also playing around with how you would get them, how you would fit them in there.
Yeah. I did spend quite some time, but before I do that, let me just say the resin came out of the mold beautifully.
Yep.
There wasn't huge amounts of residue in it or anything, but it was nice and easy to clean.
Yeah.
It was really nice to clean. Just a little bit of tape over the top, tap, 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 and all the excess, drips and drops that you get on a mold came away beautifully.
Yeah.
So I was really happy about that.
And then you gave it to me.
And then, so how can I say this? When we were young, I read lots of books. Kirk, however, didn't. He played Tetris.
Yeah.
So I gave it to him to make the balloon, do the balloons.
Yeah. Now, while this is a beautiful mold, this is my only criticism with the mold.
But I do feel that might be an error on my part.
No.
Oh.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
I've had a look at the mold. So the base, when you pour the resin in, you poured it right to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that hole is all the way through.
Yeah.
Now, later on, you'll see, but I actually struggle to glue the base and that hoop together, because I couldn't put any glue on the bottom or on the sides and that, because it goes all the way through.
Okay.
My suggestion would be that the wall around the base is either raised up a little bit, so that when you pour the resin in, it goes over that indent, so that it gives something for the hoop to sit on, so that I could actually put some glue in the bottom of that and it would stay in there.
Are you sure I didn't just pour it wrong?
I'm positive.
Okay. Well, so ideally I'd have done a couple of pours on this. You can see that I did do a couple of the balloons, but unfortunately, because we're going on holiday, I ran out of time to sort of complete all of the pours that I wanted to do. So when I do come back off holiday, I will do another one, and we'll have a little look at the base and stuff.
Yeah.
But I did quickly pour I put some mica powder into I put some chrome mica powder into one of the balloon cavities.
Yep.
And I made a red chrome balloon and a purple chrome balloon.
Yeah, and there's also a white one there and in the bottom right.
Oh yeah, that's silver, darling.
Is it silver?
Silver,
well,
yeah.
It looks white from there, but
I know, but it is silver, because I felt that this would look really nice assembled in such a way that it has a balloon highlight.
Yes.
Against the black. And because I used the red sparkle, I think I decided that the red one was the way to go.
Just for the observant, those aren't your hands.
Oh, yeah. I did say that I gave it to you because you're the Tetris king. Whereas,
so that is how I've done it so far. And then here I was trying to figure out whether to glue the girl to the base or whether to try and suspend her. And I decided to go with the suspending.
Yes, you did.
So this is very thin gauge wire.
Yeah.
I've attached it. I attach it to the I don't know what you call it, the knot of the balloon.
The balloons.
Yeah, the knot, and then twist them together and attach it to the girl's hand.
They're just, I don't know what that bit of the balloon's called. It's just the balloon.
Yeah, it's just the knot where you tie it off.
Well, that one hasn't got a knot because it's a resin balloon.
Well, it's implied.
Why is it though?
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. And not all balloons have knots.
Do they not?
No.
Okay.
If you have a balloon that's been filled up with helium, you know the shiny balloons?
Yeah.
They don't have knots.
Okay. I'm not a balloon aficionado.
Well, I have experience of balloons, and I'm telling you that they don't all have knots.
Okay.
So I feel that you're giving out incorrect information to our beloved viewers.
Okay.
And I can only apologise for that. But as you well know, there's just no controlling Kirk. He is a law unto himself.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. Did you enjoy putting this together, just out of curiosity? Because you like this sort of thing, don't you?
The fiddly, yeah.
You like fiddly stuff.
I like a good puzzle.
You like a good fiddle.
Well, who doesn't?
No, you like your puzzle.
Yeah, I like a good puzzle, and putting this together, trying to figure out how I was going to do the balloons. I did try and look at the inspiration photo, but the balloons and the girl were a little too big to actually replicate that.
Yeah, but that was inspiration, not
yes,
make it the same.
Yeah. And I think how I've done it, I think I was really pleased with it, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's quite effective.
Yeah, and I like the just the one red balloon.
That was me. That was my inspiration.
Yes, I thought that was really good, and it highlighted it really well. Well done, you.
It reminded me of do you remember back in the 80s, you used to get like posters and they'd be black and white, and there was a panther, and everybody had the panther, and it was a black panther with blue eyes or something, and everybody had it on their bedroom wall.
I didn't, but I know what you mean.
No, hang on. All the cool kids had it on their bedroom wall. You weren't a cool kid, were you?
Wow. No, I was a geek.
Neither was I.
Yeah.
But I did have that poster in an attempt to try and be cool. But no, I never made it. Never made it to the cool club.
No.
I think it was the fact that I was a member of the D&D club and the chess club that probably went against me, if I'm honest.
I think around that sort of time, that would definitely give you negative kudos points.
Yeah. Whereas now, all these cool, trendy geeks, that's on the back of people like me. You're welcome.
You're a trendsetter.
You're welcome. I was a social outcast for years, so you could reap my glory.
Reap
the glory.
Reap the glory.
Reap what I sowed. I don't know. I'm just whittering on now. Anyway, so you put one of the other things I have to say that I really like about this mould.
Okay.
And it's, I don't know if it's by design or if it's an accidental,
a happy accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for this mould, obviously I used the balloons and the little girl and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I did think you could actually just use the base and the outline, and you could do other things with it.
Yeah.
You could do whatever you wanted. So you don't have to use the balloons and the girl. You could use it for other things.
No. Now, this, I've cut it out, but this took me a while, and I used my super glue.
Yeah.
But I had to keep moving it around the board to make sure that I didn't actually stick
it to the board.
To the board. Yeah. But yeah, no, I thought that was really good. I was really pleased with that.
Yeah.
And her just dangling there. And I did go, even though I did use the super glue, I did go with some UV and just go in the back just to make sure, just to give it a bit of extra hold. Yeah. So the top bits there, I've UV'd to the hoop, and also the wires, I've also added a little bit extra on there as well, just to give it a bit of extra support.
Yeah. So essentially, to summarise, it is a fantastic mould from Dennis from Resin Supplies Den. It's well made, the silicone is high quality, and the design is fantastic. So check out Resin Supplies Den for sure. And then it was just off to the glamour shots.
Yeah.
And here they are.
Hey.
And on that note, if you are still with us at this point,
thank
you so much for watching. If you think you like our creative chaos, please do hit that like button.
And while you're down there, give the subscribe a little tickle.
And if you already have, or if you're one of our members, or if you've sent us a super thanks, or if you've just liked and watched our video, we love you from the very bottom of our glitter drawer.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Don't know why. What?
What?
I need to come up with a better line than from the bottom of the glitter drawer. If you have any suggestions for that particular part, please do leave it in the comments. If nothing else, it will give me a chuckle.
Yeah.
And I do like it. I do like a chuckle. You may have noticed.
I've there's been a subtle hint of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you realise that when this video goes out, whilst you're watching this video, if you're watching it the week that we release it, we are currently sat on a beach. Drinking cocktails.
Yep.
So.
You're welcome.
On that note, have a great couple of days.
Yeah, we will.
And hopefully we will see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye for now.